Yeah, that was me. That was me dying to Ozma. I got too close to Sin's toxin and
Sorry, man. No time for lunch yet. Take a nap. You look pushed.
Bro, you got like stuff cooking back there. I can see it.
You could at least go see how they are doing.
We can't interfere. It's a rule.
But it's been nearly.
Yo, Waka.
It's been nearly.
What you cooking?
It's been nearly a day already.
Perhaps you could go look for us.
People are searching for him now.
Thank you.
Who cares whether he comes back or not?
But he might die.
Fine, let him.
Do you hate him so? But if he
Yep.
dies, you'll never be able to tell him how much you hate him.
That's a horrible excuse. If you love and also hate Waka at the same time, then he's doing perfect by what his character is supposed to be.
Waka?
Of course, right now he's mostly likable. But as the game goes on, you're supposed to hate him more and more. If you start hating Waka as the game goes on, then he's doing a perfect job. What do you mean? I'll explain it as we go. But it's a very important plot point that you slowly begin to dislike Waka. Or at least disagree with his views. That's how his character is supposed to develop, and then it all leads up to a certain point where he comes back.
Is something wrong?
The summoner hasn't returned from the trial.
Eh?
Eh?
Well, apprentice summoner, really.
Huh?
Ah?
There's a room in there called the Cloister of Trials. Beyond
I
is
love
where
the sound
apprentice
effects.
summoner prays.
Eh?
If the prayer is heard, the apprentice becomes a fully fledged summoner. Remember?
So someone is in there somewhere, and
How's
they
it going,
haven't come
Bobby?
back out. Right, I got it.
A day's already gone by.
Is it particularly dangerous in there?
Sometimes, yes.
Why don't you go in and help?
There's already guardians in there. Besides, it's forbidden.
Here I go.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
The precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care.
Got him. I really love this too because at this point Titus thinks that summoners are old geezers. And he still goes in.
Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all.
Shows his character. It's a quick way to show Titus's character, like inside character. He thinks that this summoner is some old geezer and he still barges in to help. How's it going, grieving? Thank you so much for the 6 months. Yeah, I think a lot of people, which it's fine if you think this way, but a lot of people think that the whole idea behind characters is to be likable. And that's just not true. There are certain characters that are there for you to dislike, or there for you to first like, and then slowly show their true self. And, like, I could talk all day about how good Waka is. Because Waka is the first character you meet that really connects with Titus. It's like, oh, he's a blitzball player. He's willing to help me understand the world that we're in. So you're supposed to really connect with Waka at first. You're like, oh man, finally, this character that's going to explain all this crap to me. And, you know, be great. And he's funny and laughs. And he's supposed to be super likable when you first meet him. And then as time goes on, he shows his true self. Because when you first meet someone, they always have this fake facade. But as the game goes on, he starts to show his true self. And you start to like, oh man, like, starting to realize who Waka really is, and I don't know if I really agree with him, and I don't know if I'm really all about that. And then it slowly builds to his character arc finale. So I think Waka is one of the best created characters like ever. Whether or not you like him in the end or not, like even when you get to the end of the arc, if you still don't like him, that's fine. But I think in general, the way his character is developed is so good. And especially, you know, I don't want to talk about too much yet, but especially him and Riku. Because Riku is the first character you meet that helps you, and you're supposed to really like Riku. And so you have this thing where you first meet Riku and you like her, and then she leaves. And then you first meet Waka and you like him. And then slowly you start to dislike Waka, and then suddenly Riku comes back. And you're like, oh man, Riku, I loved you at the beginning of the game. And then Waka and Riku feud, and you have to pick sides, you know. Am I with Riku, the one that I first met and really liked, or am I with Waka, who helped me all this way, but also I'm kind of like starting to realize what he's all about? And it's just really great. Like, you have to decide for yourself who to side with, and watching them fight sucks because they both helped you. And Titus shows that too. Like, he always gets mad when they start fighting. So it's all really good stuff. It's puzzle time. Everybody loves puzzles. I really like these CloyServe trials. I loved doing them as a kid. And I really love the secret solution, to how they all have a secret solution too. You get rewarded for doing that. Pretty fantastic puzzle gameplay. I'm not a huge fan of the CloyServe Trials song, but I know some people really like it. I think it's good for what it is, but when you spend a lot of time in here, you're like, it does drag on. Is this the Jeopardy theme? I lost on Jeopardy, baby. I do the ooh thing, but I'm sick, so it's gonna sound really bad. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they were smart enough to not put encounters in here. It's so nice. Like, an actual Final Fantasy puzzle where you can just do the freaking puzzle. I hate so much that a lot of the early Final Fantasies have encounters during puzzle stuff. Especially because the longer it takes you to do the puzzle, you like accidentally end up super grinding your characters. If you actually do all the fights. So obnoxious. These are great because you can just do them. I say these are great, but there's the Babel one, which is not great. I hate the Babel puzzle.
Only summoners, apprentice summoners, and their guardians can enter here. It's a tradition, very important.
So what about you?
I'm a guardian.
Me? I'm a guardian.
A guardian? Whoa! Ah!
Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in Spira. Guardians protect them. The Guardian's in there now. One of them's got a sure fuse, and who knows what the other's thinking. Well, now that we come this far, might as well go all the way.
Yeah, it looks really great through the upscaler. But yeah, this is on PS2. It's not perfect, especially since I had to do pass-through because of my capture card,
What are
but it
you
still looks
doing
really
here?
good.
Didn't think we'd be able to handle it.
No, it's,
Look at those hair physics.
See, I told you she gets mad easy.
Is that a human cat?
Is the summoner all right?
Who are you?
the way she says that. So, okay, I have to wait till after this because cutscene. This is what I love about the voice acting in this game because it shows a lot of finesse. Hold on, unit time. Good boy, Kamari. Kamari's the best. I have done it. I have become a summoner.
I've done it. I have become a summoner.
So, I pause here. Okay. So, I think a lot of people love to make fun of the voice acting in this game, and I think that's fine. It's not the best. I think it's great for what it was and for the time this was, and for being the first voice acted Final Fantasy game. But, you know, make fun of it. There are bad parts. But I think some people kind of exaggerate a bit how bad the voice acting is. And I also think that the voice acting really added a lot to the game. And that part is a great example. So, like, Lulu walks up to Waka and gets mad at him. And then she turns to Titus. And she has this really goofy, stiff, like, who are you? And it's easy to make fun of it. But there's a reason she says it like that. You learn later why she says it like that. So it's this really great, like, they put a lot of finesse into the voice acting. It wasn't just put people in a room and recite the words. They really did try to make the dialogue hit different, I guess, have deeper meaning, you know? So you can't just point at every single thing and be like, haha, funny, bad voice acting. Because there's a reason she says it like that. You find out later, so... but yeah, I mean, there's other parts that are bad. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the things that Titus say are bad, but I just don't want, you know, I just want to point out that there are some really well delivered lines that sound bad, but are actually good. Yeah, I think also, like, being the first voice acted game,
Man, was I surprised.
it was hard for people
And
to...
here I was thinking summoners were all old geezers.
Old geezers. Hard for people to, like, get used to the voice acting because they're used to not having it, you know? That's another part of it, for sure. Voice acting was already pretty common. I mean, this is PS2, and there were plenty of PS1 games with voice acting, but... the thing with voice acting around this time is a lot of PS1 games didn't have dedicated voice actors. Instead, the games were voiced usually by people that were already on the team. Video game voice actors was not a common job as it was later on. It still existed, don't get me wrong, but it's not like today where you could literally say there are certain people whose job are to voice act video games, you know? It was a lot of times it was people that were on the team creating the game already, or it was some of the games for PS2, they would get celebrities to do voices. They were not dedicated voice specialists that would do video games. At the time, the only like voice specialist that would do animation would be for like movies and stuff, like Disney movies and stuff. So you can tell that they went the extra mile to get real voice actors for this. They had done that in the past for other games, but this was kind of the transition where they were starting to get a lot more serious with voice acting. Like I said, there was voice acting on the PS1, but a lot of it was like Resident Evil 1 voice acting and stuff like that. The PS2 is when they started to get really serious, I would say. And even like late PS1, but early PS2, I think, is when voice acting started to get a lot more serious. And a lot of like people that did animation or cartoons and stuff started doing video game voice acting as well. So this is like right at the transition period where voice acting started to be more serious.
What? Ow!
Wait till you see this.
I can't see anything.
And yeah, I can't understate it enough, or overstate it enough.
Okay.
The voice acting in this game is great for its time. But having said that, I'm totally okay making fun of it. Because it is pretty campy listening to it now. Parts of it. I still think parts of it are amazing. But I think Yuna's really good. I think parts of Titus are really good. Waka and Lulu are really good. Orin is really good. And the campiness I enjoy, but if you want to make fun of it, it's totally reasonable to make fun of. Also, I love the summon animation as part of the story. Epic. And Veil 4 is so cool. I love the connection the summoners have with the Aeons in this game. There's such a cool connection. It's not just this thing we summon to deal damage. They're like pets. But then it's even further than that because they're like spirits. And this is also setting the seeds for a scene later. So much great storytelling in this game in terms of setting up scenes
I'd never
later.
seen anything like it in my life. Sure, it was a little scary, but still, I could feel a strange kind of gentleness coming from it. I remember, that night, we talked for the first time. I didn't know it then, but after that night, everything changed. For everyone. For me.
Hey, how's it going, Popstar?
Let me introduce you to the team. This guy here wants into the tournament so bad, I let him on the team. His memory's a little fuzzy, so don't mind him if he says anything odd. Come on, say hi.
Hi.
Hi guys. So what's our goal?
To do our best! Nope, we got a new goal now. Our new goal is victory! To win every match, defeat every opposing team, to bring the Crystal Cup back to our island. That's all we need to do to win. Easy, huh?
All we need to do to win is win. You're like, what's that?
Victory! 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 Victory!
Sneaking a peek.
Victory! Victory!
Victory! Victory! Victory! Alright, you guys ready? Here it comes.
You heathen!
Stay away from the summoner!
Stay away from the summoner.
Lady Una, be careful.
But it was really my fault to begin with.
No.
I'm Una.
Just absolutely
Thank you
dunked
so
on
much
that
for
old
your
man.
help earlier.
Huh? I'm sorry about that. Wasn't I not supposed to? Guess I kind of overreacted.
Oh no, I was overconfident.
I saw that Aeon thing. That's amazing.
Really? Do you think I can become High Summoner?
Lady Una, play with me some more.
So, tomorrow then.
Tomorrow?
We're going on the same boat, aren't we?
Oh, really?
We can talk more.
Huh.
High five. I don't know why he holds his hand
You
up.
can tell me all about Xanarkand.
She's cute, yeah? Don't get no ideas.
No promises there, big guy.
Got
Hey,
him.
but what if she, comes on to me?
That's not going to happen. If you get tired, let me know. I had a bed made for you.
Man, I could talk all day about these scenes, dude. It's crazy. This is why I was looking forward so much to Final Fantasy X, because there's just so much to talk about. And I know I'm, gushing too much. But, that scene does such a great job of introducing Yuna and the type of character she is. And then there's, all these crazy double meanings with him talking to Waka. Oh man, it's so good, because the first time you play the game, Waka's don't get any ideas, and you're thinking oh, Waka's trying to be overprotective because he's Yuna's guardian, and he doesn't want me, in love with her, right? But then you hear, seriously? Go back a couple seconds if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can click the video tab on Twitch. Listen to the way he says, that's not gonna happen. The tone of his voice. Oh, man. First time you play through it, you're like, yeah, right, Waka. Second time you play through it, you're like, oh. It hurts. It hurts the way he says that. So good. That's why I'm saying, yeah, make fun of the voice acting all you want, but they do put in the important stuff. The lines that matter, they do it well. Speaking of voice acting.
Stay away from the summoner! Stay away from the summoner!
Ready for bed? Don't overdo it. We leave early tomorrow.
Stay away from the summoner.
Ready for bed? Good. Sleep tight.
She's the true guardian. Depends on which twist you're talking about, but I'm trying to remember. Yeah, don't say the twist, because I'd rather it happen naturally, but I'm trying to remember when I figured out that twist. My very first... I feel like the first time I found out... The first time I played the game, I don't think I figured out that twist until it happened, to be honest. But I was younger. If I played through it nowadays, I probably would have figured it out quicker. Because there's some really big hints to it. Now, the second twist about Titus, I did not see coming at all, and I don't think I would have saw coming at all, even if I had played it later. I know some people say they figured it out. I don't think I would have. So, but the first one, maybe.
Where's that boat?
Where's that boat?
Everyone will find us if it doesn't come soon.
You really sure this is okay?
Would you take me to Xanarkand?
Hey!
I love how he's right. Dude, I love this part so much. I've had dreams like this before. Where just the most ridiculous stuff happens. I love that he's just running in place now for no reason.
You said you'd go with me!
It's so good.
Oh, hey!
I thought Waka told you not to get any ideas.
He did?
Yeah,
so you're coming with me.
Hey, stop dreaming! You with a woman? You can't even catch a ball!
He's got a point.
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, he's suddenly a child.
Gonna cry again? Cry. That's the only thing you're good for.
I hate you.
Huh? What'd you say?
You have to speak loudly.
I hate you!
Huh?
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
You can do it!
I wonder if Yuna is supposed to, like, represent...
I hate you!
He's dead, okay?
Oh, hold on. Best scene. Igamatsu, what happened to all your belts? You had, like, a big pile of belts here, and you haven't implemented it into any of the characters yet.
I was surprised, too, the first time I saw him.
What are you gonna do with these?
But no matter what he looks like, he isn't Chapu.
Oh.
You shouldn't have
That's
brought
what you did
him
with
here
all the
in
belts.
first place.
Yeah, but he needed our help.
Excuses again?
Yeah, but...
That's it. No more. Enough, Waka.
Enough, Waka. I don't know why I said Umatsu, by the way. He wouldn't have done it. Nomura loves his belts. She is the belt keeper.
Scary. So, who's Chapu?
My little brother, Chapu. Looked like you.
He's dead?
He was with the Crusaders when they fought Sin last year. He didn't make it. I first heard on the day of the tournament.
Oh, so that's why.
I became a guardian to fight Sin, yeah?
Revenge, then?
That was the idea. I'm more worried about a stupid game now than avenging my brother. Well, after the next tournament, I'll be a guardian full-time. I know it kinda looks like I'm using you, but I'm not.
Don't worry. I mean, I owe you a lot. You really helped me out, you know? What I mean is... Thanks, Waka.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
So, I know, I'm gushing a lot. I love this scene so much. it's a great payoff from before when Waka said I was distracted and Titus was like, you know, yeah, sure, excuses. So now he knows. Also, it's a great payoff for the way Lulu reacted to Titus, because now we know why she said it so weird, because he looks like Chapu. And furthermore, what a great motivation for the next part of the game. Holy cow. You want to win the tournament so bad now because you understand how this is Waka's final chance before he becomes a guardian. He wants to avenge his brother, but he also wants to complete his goal of winning a tournament. So, like, man, the motivation to, like, win that tournament. This is why a lot of people, if they lose the tournament, they reset until they beat it. Because it just feels so great to get Waka that win, you know? It's too good, man. We're only, what, 2 hours in? And they've already, like, paid off a lot of the things that they set up. And they've already given us a great motivation to, like, complete the quest of one of the characters. I don't know, man. They're just so good at... They're so good at early character development in this game. We're not sitting around waiting to figure out what these characters are for. They're already paying them off in great ways. But in the same way, they have some characters that we know nothing about yet, like Kamari.
Hey, sleepyhead. Something I want to give you.
Whoa! You're giving this to me?
Yeah, use it well.
That's the sword you gave Chapu.
Well, he never used it. Where's Yuna?
We're taking the same boat as Yuna, right? Why do we gotta wait here?
Yuna came to this village 10 years ago, when the last calm started.
The calm?
Since then, she's been like a little sister to me.
I like how he doesn't explain it.
But she had the talent. She became an apprentice. Now, today, she leaves as a summoner.
This is our journey. We should leave together.
Awkward Yuna.
You really don't need all that luggage.
They're not really my things. They're gifts for the temples we're to visit.
This isn't a vacation, Yuna.
I guess you're right.
I'll just leave it there. It's fine. Right in the middle of the town.
Okay, off we go.
Some little kid's gonna walk up to that briefcase and, like, win the lottery. Yeah, why can't Kamari carry it? Gotta love how it's called the Brotherhood, too. Just thought that was cool. Rod of Wisdom. The Mloogle. And now we get to learn about switching characters, and kind of the game's main mechanic. With each character being really specialized.
Why don't you try out that sword I gave you?
No problem.
Not too shabby. You kept up with him pretty well. Might make a good guardian someday. A flyer. My kind of customer. Ow!
My kind of customer. Ow! Gotta love the voice acting and the fights are great. Ow! Yeah, I have a lot to say about this, but I'll wait till this part.
That looks like trouble.
Nah, I got it. Easy.
Watch this.
told you, only magic can beat that thing. If you can't beat them down, you gotta use magic of an element they don't like.
Magic? Element?
Let's have our black
Magic?
show you
Element?
what I mean. Lou, you're up.
Clueless, aren't you? Good thing I'm here.
Look at the Moogle.
Spells of ice work well against fire fiends. And ice fiends are weak against fire magic. You follow?
I get fire and ice, but what about lightning and water?
Lightning and water are opposed, just like fire and ice. This one here is a water fiend, which means...
Which means... Fire.
That was a bad example. This one's a water fiend, so fire and ice aren't very effective.
Enough with the lesson, Lou. Let's get this over with, yeah?
Water.
Whoa, hey, what are you healing that thing for?
This is the sort of thing that can happen if you pick the wrong element.
I was just showing you. Just an example. Obviously, it's Blizzard.
That was a bad example. This one's a water fiend.
Enough with... Let's get
Just
this
wanted
over.
to show that. Other text. I did it wrong so many times that now it's Waka's turn. The game gave up on me. I got too close to Sin's Toxin and yeah, definitely Sin's Toxin. Unfortunate.
Take your time.
Let's get going, man.
We're gonna wait.
Why would he say that? She just said take your time.
Are you ready?
What's going on?
See, now that's one of those moments where it's like, Titus, shut up.
It's an ancient custom. People leaving the island pray here for a safe trip. Chapu didn't pray that day. Said he'd miss his boat.
I like that line. We're supposed to get, like, annoyed with Waka, but
that should do it.
They do a good job showing, like, the reason he's the way he is, you know what I mean? Like, it's understandable, right? Even if you disagree with it. It's extremely understandable. It's not like he's some blind, like, idiot. That's what I really like about his character. It's mixed. It's not just... he's this super blind, devout, no idea, like, you know, there's reasons behind a lot of his character. Nice kitty. Love it. Such a great FMV. Also, love the camera angles. Makes the fight so epic. Moving camera. Let me show you my move. Overkill. We killed him. He's dead.
That's enough.
Let's go and Kree Jojo. He was like, nope. You are not worthy.
What's with that guy?
Kimari Ronso, of the Ronso tribe. He's learned the Fiend's way of fighting.
In other ways...
That's not what I meant.
In other words, he's a blue mage.
He's another Yuna's guardians.
Huh?
Sometimes we don't understand him either. Kimari doesn't talk much anyway. But he has protected me since I was a child.
Titus is like accepting of that. He's like, okay, makes sense. He is the bouncer. One thing I do want to mention just off the cuff, the menus in this game are incredible. Like, Kingdom Hearts level, smooth. It's so easy to just plot between menus, like, it's so easy to just menu things in, it's great. I have a lot to say, but I'm waiting for this final tutorial before I say it. Yeah, Square in general has great menus, but it's just the limitations of the PS1 caused a lot of the old menus to be bad. Also, I believe...
That's your department, right?
True, but,
why
don't we let our summoner show us what she's made of?
I don't actually know how the menu works in 9, but this might be the first game where the menu runs at the same exact frame rate and same exact resolution as the game. A lot of the old PS1 RPGs, Squaresoft or not, the menus would run at a different FPS and a different resolution because of the limitations of the PS1. So the PS2 actually running the menus on the same exact frame rate and resolution, that's why they feel so much smoother. There's not so much of a load when you open up the menus. In fact, there's no load at all. It's there ready, it just swaps in, so that's like part of the reason. Some of the menus, like in the older games too, were like that because it wasn't, you know, like the older games, they didn't have different engines running the different menus. It was just all the same. But yeah, if you play like Final Fantasy 7 or 8 and then you switch to this one, it's like night and day the difference. I'm here. I had stick.
Let's see some style.
Show us what your training has taught you, Yuna.
Okay.
Okay. The in-game menus are also really nice. But I could say that for most of the games. That's just Squaresoft's trademark. Really smooth menus in-game or in battle. Yeah, so have to mention the different summon mechanic in this game where the summon actually fights. Really loved this as a kid. Thought it was amazing that summons weren't just a single attack, because it does get a bit boring summoning them after a while. But one bad thing about this mechanic, as we'll see later, is a lot of the bosses just auto-kill your summons. So it's a bit of a killjoy. How it's like, oh man, I can't wait to use this against a boss, and the bosses are just like, no. But you do get the cool summon boss fights, so those are fun also. Like Pokemon battles, basically. Which are really cool. Also, Sonic Wings is so much fun to use and watch all the attacks you get in the menu. Especially if you get Baleful Haste. It gets pretty hilarious. You can use like 11 Sonic Wings in a row. Can you boost yet? Yeah, you can. I mean, come on, this fight is just so cool. Bird versus bird. Pokemon battle. Pokemon battle in my Final Fantasy game? Come on. Also cool how Balefort has scan before your party has it. And they get their own overdrives, which are basically the OG summon moves. It's perfect. Bzzzt. Pidgeotto versus Fearow. So, here's what I wanted to talk about after that tutorial. So this, I think, is where a lot of people are split on Final Fantasy X, and I'm interested to hear your opinions. Feel free to comment on YouTube and comment here on Twitch. Curious to hear what you think. But the whole switching in characters and having each character extremely specialized. What are your opinions on it? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? I'm kind of on the side of liking it. I like when characters are more specialized, and I like when the classes are more obvious. And that's one of the things I always talk about with 7 that they kind of missed, was that the characters aren't different enough, and you usually just use the ones you like, because other than the limits, they're not much different, and you can build pretty much anything on anyone because of the materia system. And, you know, you can build anyone in this game any way you like, but that's pretty much like post-game. Throughout the game, it is very obvious you're supposed to use Auron for armor, Titus for quick-moving enemies, Waka for flyers, Lulu for flans, you know, etc. There's two sides of it. There's the characters being very specialized, which I think is very Final Fantasy-like. So I think that's great. But there's also the swapping in characters, which is really interesting because I found that throughout Fantathon, the fan base of Final Fantasy is pretty mixed on whether or not they like using their entire party or they like having their 3 or 4 characters they like. Some people, they pick their party and they use that party throughout the whole game. And whenever the game throws in something where it's like, oh, you gotta use your other characters now, it annoys them. Like Final Fantasy VI, when you constantly have to use other parties, that annoys them. In Final Fantasy IX, where the whole beginning of the game you pretty much never have a specific party, that annoys them. They like to get to the point where they have their party, and they can use their party and specialize in that party, you know. And then there's people that really appreciate using the entire party and having some kind of, like, mechanic built into the game that forces you to use each character so that none of them get lost in the mix. I don't know where I lay. I kind of like both. I kind of like how 9 did it, where the beginning of the game, it made you use everyone, but then at the end, it let you specialize a party. I feel like that's kind of the best way to do it. But I don't dislike how 10 does it. 10, right off the bat, is like, you're using everyone, you know? We are gonna force you, not really force you, but put you in a situation where it's best to use everyone, except Kimahri. So, I like that. I wish they did more with Kimahri, though. That's probably my only gripe with it, is that Auron is good for armor, Titus is good for quick enemies, Waka is good for flyers, Lulu's good for flans, Yuna is white mage, so you need her, Riku is good on robots, Kimahri's Kimahri. Like, he falls through the cracks. It's like, he's good if you use him, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have a special enemy that you need him for, and that's the problem. That's why a lot of people don't use him, is because the game doesn't say, hey, it's Kimahri time. So you have to go out of your way to use him. That's the thing. He can be good It is cool how he gets to go down any path he wants. It is cool that he gets blue magic. If you really like blue magic, you might use him because of that. But the game doesn't ever tell you it's Kimahri time. And so a lot of people, they get pretty far into the game using the party members that they're supposed to use, and then Kimahri falls behind, and then you never want to do the work to get him back to where he should be. So casually, 9 times out of 10, people aren't using Kimahri. And that's unfortunate. It would have been cool if there was some kind of specialized enemy that you had to use Kimahri for, because then he would have kept up with everyone else, and then you could have maybe used him post-game a lot more in a casual sense. So that's my only gripe, is Kimahri kind of gets the shaft. But other than that, they do a really good job of being like, it's Lulu time, it's Titus time, it's Auron time, so that you get a little bit with everyone levels up equally, and then once you get to like post-game, you pick the characters you like and run with them. So, I like it, but there are some gripes I have with it. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Seems like a lot of people like it. I think in terms of games where they make you use everyone, they do it really well. But if you don't like that type of thing, then, you know, that's you. But
one of those.
I think we can say they at least do it really well.
Leave this one to me, huh?
For what they were going for.
Say good night, birdie. Yeah.
The specialized skills are also really great. How Waka can do ailments, Yuna can do summons, Lulu can do other different ailments that Waka doesn't do. Titus does, well, they all do buffs, but like I said, Kimahri is a jack of all trades, which is good, but because of the way the game is made, and because there's this element of this character is supposed to fight this enemy, it just causes you to not use Kimahri. Because you see a flyer, and you're like, oh, Waka time, and there's just never a time where you're specifically wanting to use Kimahri. So you have to go out of your way to use him, and a lot of people don't do that their first time through, so then Kimahri falls behind. And then once you get to halfway through the game, you're like, well, Kimahri's so far behind now, I might as well just not use it. So, that's just the way it goes. If you go out of your way to use him, he's great and fun, and you can take him down any path, and some of the blue magic's really fun to use. Unfortunately, I would say the blue magic in this game is one of the weakest of the entire series, both because the spells aren't that great, and because it's overdrive, so he has to actually get overdrive to use it. That's probably the biggest gripe I have with Kimahri. He kind of fails as a blue mage because you have to get his overdrive to use it. He can't just spam it like every other blue mage the whole rest of the series. So, and his other skills, depending on where you take him, if you take him down white magic, he can be really useful because he can spam white magic, and then when he gets his overdrive, he can use a blue magic. But he just fails as a blue mage, unfortunately. So, yeah. Wait. You had one job. Yeah, and then on top of that, you have Riku Mix, which is basically blue magic but better. That's, yeah, I never really thought about that, but man, Riku really does just kind of just better Kimahri. She can steal, she can use, she can mix, and she's way faster. Even if you took Kimahri down like Titus's, she'd still be faster. Yeah, she is frail at least, but yeah. At least in terms of like what you need the character to do. She completely destroys what Kimahri needs to do with her own, with Mix. That she can use at any time, or use, she can use at any time, and then Mix is overdrive, but yeah. You mentioned earlier on about this playthrough being less strict on spoilers. How do you want us to handle things like there's a chest item in this location? I don't want you to backseat. Like, let me play the game. But if you want to talk about mechanics and stuff, it's fine. If you want to talk about light story stuff, it's fine too. Backseating just isn't fun for anyone, so. And I remember most stuff. If I'm passing up a chest, it's probably because I don't care about it, not because I forget it's there. Yeah, if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. It's hard because it's kind of a catch-22. I don't want to like sit here and explain the rules every 5 seconds. But at the same time, I do have to explain it from time to time because new people come in. I know YouTube can sometimes get tired of me explaining the rules all the time, but that's just the way Twitch works. Get used to it after a while. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer. I won't cry. I won't, yeah. I did get the crest. Not that you really need it yet anyways. You can always come back and get it, but... Link. 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 Meh. That kid losing it.
Goodbye.
How's it going, Jace? I shouldn't have started this cutscene. I have to go to the bathroom and get coffee. I think this is a long cutscene. Actually, wait. It might drop us on the boat after this. I think it does. How am I going to handle Final Fantasy XI? Panic. Full panic.
Boo.
Like, what is he doing? Okay, I guess that was kind of a bob shot, but not really. This is. So, there's another one, I guess. You got me there. Add that to the bobble-meter. Or bootio-meter. This is gonna be funny, because honestly, I never realized. But the more you guys talk about it, the more I realize, like, yeah, they kind of do a lot of... they do a lot of close-ups in this game, don't they? I only remembered the one scene with Lulu, the thing with Riku on the boat, and then the thing... Well, not even really. I don't think Riku's second scene really does that, but I can't remember. But now that you pointed it out, I'm seeing it more. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. They gotta show off the graphics, man. It's just like the Tifa scene on the Highwind. You gotta show off the graphics.